So the title of my TED Talk is a Stress and Anxiety Knockout. I can guess that most of you guys have felt some kind of stress or pressure from school in the past couple of weeks. College is a huge transition for us, and it opens up so many doors for our futures. It also makes us completely independent. On the other hand, it also exposes us to stressors. People deal with stress in different ways, and some really struggle. Those who struggle jeopardize their health. Not only do our surroundings stress us out, but we put stress on ourselves, and that makes us extremely vulnerable for health risks like anxiety. So, according to Medical News Today, anxiety is a general term for several disorders that cause nervousness, fear, apprehension, and worrying. These feelings can affect how we feel and behave, and they can manifest real physical symptoms. So, anxiety, if diagnosed, is known as a mood disorder. It's normal for us to feel some kind of fear and worriness before a test or an interview, but once these feelings get in the way of everyday life, it becomes a major problem. Constantly stressing over yourself and over school and putting too much pressure on yourself is not a good thing. Yes, we want to get an A. We all want to be on the dean's list, but our bodies have limits. You need to understand that we cannot physically, mentally, or emotionally handle an overload of stress. This overload can have a negative impact on our health. So I went online to see what kind of symptoms people experience. I actually scrolled through a website for several minutes because there were so many different symptoms. Some included body tremors and shakes, difficulty sleeping, shortness of breath, and the list goes on and on. So people aren't the same. Everyone experiences something else, and nobody experiences the same thing. So I also researched online to see how stress can affect college students. I found that 89% of female college students reported feeling overwhelmed by all they had to do in the past year. That's 15 percentage points higher than college men. So you guys are a little luckier than us. I'm going to tell you now about my personal story with stress. So I hope that if you're experiencing stress or anxiety, that my story will inspire you to get help or to do something about it. Before last quarter started, I had no idea what anxiety was, and frankly, I felt like I didn't even have to worry about it. I had so many expectations for myself. I told myself that I couldn't ruin my transcript, that I had to get A's in all my classes, that there was no room for fooling around. And right then and there, that was a lot of pressure on myself. So as the quarter went on, I was performing well. I was getting good grades, and I was doing what I should be doing. But my problem was that I was never satisfied. I never thought that I was good enough. I always thought that I could do much better, that I was never perfect, that I needed to be perfect. And this was a major problem. Amira, who's in our health science class, was with me practically every single day last quarter, and I was so stressed out that my stress started to rub off on her. So you can tell how bad it was. And I knew that the stress was bad and it was unnecessary for me to do this, but in a way, it felt as if it kind of kept me going. I felt like my stress and all the pressure I put on myself was getting me through this. With a couple weeks left in the quarter, I actually ended up in the hospital. I remember feeling body tremors and shortness of breath, and it was just really uncomfortable, and I really had no idea what was going on with me. The physicians in the ER asked me, "Are you stressed? Like, what's going on in your life?" And I was like, "Yeah, school is stressing me out." And they were like, "Well, you experienced an anxiety attack, and you really need to chill out." So I kind of didn't really think much of it, and I went on with my daily life. My stress levels didn't change, my pressure didn't change, and I just kind of went on with what I was doing. A couple weeks later, guess where I ended up again? The hospital. And what did they tell me this time? The same exact thing they told me last time. But this time I felt some kind of trembling and shivers in my left hand, and I literally thought I was dying and I was going crazy. It got to the point where I didn't have control of my own body, and all this stress building up was really taking a toll on my health. So I knew I had to do something. I knew that I had to change, but I really didn't know how. It got to the point where I felt I hit rock bottom and I couldn't do anything and no one could help me, and I really got really depressed because I was afraid that nothing was going to change. But over time I did a lot of research and I found out really good ways to get over my anxiety and learn how to control it and control my stress. So over time, with the help of my family and friends, I was able to overcome the hardships. So why is this a problem? Why am I talking about this? Well, I feel that a lot of people don't know that stress can really lead to health problems. I feel like people just stress out and it's kind of like a natural thing and they don't really think about it and they don't think that nothing's going to happen to them. But you're wrong. Those people are wrong because I thought the same exact thing and look what happened. I developed anxiety. People don't always experience the same symptoms, and there's people out there that have it a lot worse than I did. So how do we fix this? How do we limit the amount of stress students have or just people have in general due to work? I think that everyone should take about 30 minutes to an hour out of their day and just stop thinking and be positive. Just do something you like and chill. I feel like if you do something that you enjoy, you won't think about the stressors, you won't think about the negative things that are going on in your life, and you'll just focus on the positive. Also, talk to someone about your problems or your issues. It'll make you feel a lot better. Also, yoga is a great stress reliever, and going to the gym really, really helps. So I just want to let you guys know that you're in control of your own body and that you can handle the stress and you can win the battle with stress. So you never have to worry about anxiety.